Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Speaker, this House believes parents can instill motivation and ambition in their children. Children live with their parents for a long time, giving parents time to instill these things, and parents can incentivize their kids. Every child wants to succeed. There's a reason adults ask, what will you be when you grow up?
Wouldn't you agree that that would put a lot of pressure onto a child who hasn't exactly thought about it yet?
Children have like around 13 years to think about it. Every child wants to work towards success and money. Their parents would probably give them advice and they would be very willing to hear it. And after hearing this advice, they would probably be more motivated, knowing that they now can do something to achieve their goal.
Wouldn't you agree that pestering your child with asking them can be counterproductive, as I said before,
Yes.
pressuring them?
What they're doing here isn't really pestering their child. If their child wants to talk about this, they can talk about it a lot. If their child doesn't want to talk about it as much, they can like leave it alone, and maybe after half a year or a year later they can ask them again. Even though if kids want to have a different job than their parents still can give them the concept of how to be motivated.
But today I will be speaking about how it's hard to establish ambition into a child in these times, and children are sensitive and hard to understand. While my partner will be talking about parents may use harsh ways, and children might have their dreams of their own. I'm quoting you right now. You said that they would pester their children, but then you turned around and said, oh yeah, they're not exactly going to be pestering them about it. So I don't really know what you're saying. Your words sort of counteract each other, and I'm confused. There's a generation gap. Like what they did in the past might not what I like. My mom may have enjoyed reading and writing, but I might enjoy playing video games, and I don't think that they would be able to understand that. But you would disagree?
Wouldn't you agree that even like grades stay the same, right? Success stays the same.
Yes, grade and success stay the same, but interests don't. And I believe that I would rather focus on my interests and do what I want in the future than focus on grades. Because just because my mom wanted to be an accountant as a child doesn't mean I want to be stuck at math. I don't want to become an accountant. But but you would disagree?
Are you aware that many jobs in the future require basic skills?
Yes, many jobs in the future require basic skills, but that doesn't mean that my mom can understand everything about me. Children are sensitive and hard to understand. There's a generational gap. I remember a time where I could go outside and play with my friends on the playground, go to McDonald's and eat whatever I want, and do all those things. It's hard to establish ambition in this time, especially towards children who have seen happier times or people who haven't even seen happier times.
Wouldn't you agree that if you were a foster child's parent, then you would obviously know more about them than somebody who wasn't their parent?
Yeah, I guess that would be true. However, not everything is on the surface. If they're a foster child and someone abused them in the past, maybe they're sensitive and they wouldn't exactly tell someone who's helping them because they wouldn't know who to trust. It's hard to trust someone if you trusted someone and they betrayed you. My mom, they didn't have any cell phones. Now I'm spending 20 hours on my cell phone every day. Her after school program and her interest was Chinese calligraphy. I don't know a single character in Chinese other than Yi Er, which is 1 line, 2 lines, and 3 lines. My interests are currently playing video games. I've always been a fandom kid. However, if I ever went up to my mom and was crying about how I was sad that Gregory had to stay in the security breach place, she'd be like, are you okay? Do you need therapy?
So, Mr. Speaker, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to begin with a quick rebuttal to the first opposition's speech, and then I'll be moving on to my own constructive. Now, the first opposition has said that it is very hard to instill ambition, especially in these troubled times like with COVID and stuff. However, these sensitive times may make children become more ambitious because, maybe they find the fact that they want to help out the world. They want to help out science in whatever, disease prevention or something like that. She also said that it is easier for children to motivate themselves. However, this is entirely false. Think about it. If you have a 10-year-old child that, let's say he wants to be an NHL hockey player, right? How is he going to motivate himself to become a hockey player, right? Without external help.
Wouldn't you agree that if the child can discover their own ambition on themselves if they watch hockey all the time?
Yes, but they can discover that ambition, but they lack the motivation to pursue that ambition. And that's exactly what the parents are there for.
Wouldn't you agree that this is currently only going on the people that are sensitive and not going on the people, like the children who like know their dream and have very much ambition of their own. They were born with confidence.
If you're born with confidence, you know what you want to do when you're really young, right? But it's still really hard for you to pursue that ambition, right? Without external help, if you're young, during these troubled times, you have nowhere to go. You're isolated in your home. Those parents are right beside you and they can help you. Most children will live with their parents until they get to college or like university, which is, I think, is around 18. And even then, like when they leave for university, they might have winter break, summer break, they come back, spend more time with their family. This creates a very strong connection between parent and child.
Wouldn't you agree that like sometimes being together too much can also create a gap between two people?
Yes, of course, because two people, obviously they will create problems, right? But because you're spending so much time together, right? These are going to be healed eventually, because like if you have an argument with like your sibling or something, obviously time will like mend it, right? You're not going to be stay mad at each other for the rest of your lives. Look at all these celebrities, all these people that won awards. When they're winning awards, the first thing they do is to thank their parents, thank them for shaping them for the way they are.
Some government said that parents know what motivates their child, but in reality, parents may not know what their child wants for motivation, because they haven't been through the child's life. They don't know what's going through their child's life. You can't expect a child to tell their parent everything they've gone through, since some teenagers can be very secretive and maybe they are depressed and they don't want to tell their parents that because maybe they're scared to admit that. The child may have their dream of their own. Many parents may want their children to become a doctor or a professor, but in reality, some children don't want to do that. I'm not trying to say that no child wants to become a doctor or professor. Parents also want their children to be something maybe they haven't done in their life. Maybe they want their child to do something they've always wanted to do, or something they dreamed of doing, but maybe they didn't have time, or maybe they didn't have enough support to do that. Parents can assume the child will be motivated to do something maybe they were motivated to do, but it's not true. It's not always that if you're motivated to do something, maybe another person won't be just as motivated.
Wouldn't you agree that like you can't like say something for sure until you actually do it? For example, the child may like play piano and end up liking piano.
Parent may use harsh ways to motivate a child. This is why, Mr. Speaker, ladies and gentlemen, this House believes that parents can't instill motivation and ambition into their children.
Not all parents want their kids to be a doctor or a professor. There are plenty of other like good jobs out there. To truly succeed, you need to have like a good job. That's one of the main fundamentals of success.
Let's give it up for our debaters. Top, 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 top. Nice job, debaters. I really like that. I'm going to turn the page. More top, 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 top. Eason, top, top. Nice job.